Indeed, India's Akshay Dongre joins us on the story for more. Akshay, do we know what is likely to be discussed at this meeting of the DGMOs of India and Pakistan this evening?
Well, we cannot presume what is going to be discussed or make any kind of assumptions as far as the strategy of the Indian Armed Forces are concerned. However, the only thing that has been the trend as far as these kind of DGMO level talks are concerned in the past. So usually they are in continuation of the last conversation that has happened, and what are the updates only on that. So as of now, there are no indication coming in that any kind of other things are going to be discussed, be it the Indus Water Treaty or the trade or opening up of the borders or any kind of allowance of Pakistani flights to go over India. So these things are not going to be discussed. That is for sure, because the last time the DGMO level talks had happened, it was clarified that nothing else was discussed but the cessation of hostilities that was implemented. So clearly, at this point, we are expecting that what has happened so far, as far as the ceasefire is concerned, and the stoppage of cessation of hostilities and the violation that have happened, or what kind of response that India has in terms of preparedness to combat terrorism, not only in Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir that is emanating out of there, but also in the state of Jammu and Kashmir and the rest of the country, be it the western borders or the northern borders and the districts especially that were impacted during the exchange of fire between the two armed forces. So how this is going to be implemented for a longer period, what are the solutions that have to be there as far as a more permanent cessation is concerned. So all of that will be discussed, how the implementation was done and how other kind of preparations took place. So everything that was discussed last time will be taken update of, and the DGMO level officers will also see how the differences are concerned when it comes to India. It is expecting Pakistani army to act in a very strong manner against terrorism. Otherwise, India will be forced to once again.
Okay. Actually, DGMO of the Indian Army, Lieutenant General Rajiv Ghai, yesterday said that strikes across 9 terror hubs in Pakistan and PoJK under Operation Sindhur killed over 100 terrorists. So time and again in every presser, it is being reiterated that India had only targeted terrorists and terrorist infrastructure, unlike Pakistan.
Well, because there are no terror infrastructures in India, then it's obvious that Pakistan was going to be rattled and, will be forcing the more vulnerable areas, especially the civilian population. Then that was, in a way, a war crime that if you look at it through the Geneva Convention as well as the laws around the world. So that is for sure that Pakistan was implementing a very nefarious design that was perfectly thwarted by the Indian Armed Forces. India has maintained from the very beginning that these strikes were only against terror and terror infrastructure, be it the internal areas of Pakistan, or be it the areas that are on the LOC or the international border. So that will be continued, and that's why the forces are saying that Operation Sindhur also continues as far as implementation of the war that has been started against terror is concerned. So clearly, while the DGMOs talk about exchange of fires and cessation of hostilities, clearly one thing is for sure that the kind of nefarious design that Pakistani armed forces will have to be observed even for the next several days, and the armed forces will have to stay on alert. Because it's a country that cannot be trusted, that they have showed again and again through several instances. But the Indian Armed Forces remain ready, and they are stronger than ever at this point.
Okay, thank you very much, Akshay. We'll come back to you as and when this DGMO meeting is held between India and Pakistan. Thank you.